Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. Just a quick video for you today. I'm feeling a bit under the weather. Well, I say a quick video, a quick one by my standards. It's still 15 minutes long. And no particular theme to today's video. It's just random acts of violence in various tanks and various different maps in World of Tanks. Starting off with this E75 match. It's very much a tier 10 game here on the Siegfried Line map. E75, German tier 9 heavy tank. And this is a real heavy tank. The armour on this tank is really, really good. And people often say, and I've been guilty of saying this myself, that with premium ammo and the high penetration on tier 9 and 10 tank guns, and especially tank destroyer guns, that armour is irrelevant in World of Tanks. Yeah, that's not really true. The E75 has still got it. The armour on this tank, if you angle it, is phenomenal. And the gun packs a punch too. Actually, the top gun on the E75, the 128mm, is a bit of a departure from what you're used to previously on German heavy tanks. Nice little bounce there, tracks ate it. On tanks like the Tiger 2, prior to this, you've got guns that favour accuracy over raw damage output. And then you get the E75, and it gets a gun that is not terribly inaccurate, but it's definitely not the sniper type of main gun that you're used to up to this point. It's a brawling heavy tank gun, but that's fine, because that's what the E75 is built for. This is a tank that can take one hell of a battering. It's one of those tanks that you can quite happily take into a tier 10 game and still be able to take a beating. But like most other German heavies, well, like most other German mediums, there we go. Oh, well, that is most unlike other German heavies and other German mediums. Took a direct hit from an IS-7, no problem. Where was I? Yeah, like most other German heavies and mediums, it's all... There's no rounding going on with the armour here, so you have to angle it for it to be effective. E100 just got nailed by the Ferdinand, which must mean he's out in the field there somewhere. And the secret to angling your armour means that you have to know... Oh, did not... Right, there we go. You have to know from which direction the fire is coming. Now, I didn't see that E75 until I popped around the corner. And he put one right through my lower glacis because I was pointing straight at him. If I'd been able to angle the tank the way he was angled, as you saw my shot at his lower glacis at a 45-degree angle just bounce right off, I could have taken the hit. Quickly check my rear, make sure nobody's coming around behind me. The Foch has got this road covered, so again, aware that there is an unspotted Ferdinand out there somewhere. I'm going to keep the tank angled against his likely direction of fire. See what we can do around this side. Object 704 over there, who looks like he's in the open. Oh, I've got to take this shot. And I have been spotted. And I don't think it was the object, which probably means that 30 is aiming at me, but the object's gone. So keep this thing angled, pull back. Now, to my left, there's a T-57 Heavy, a Jagdpanzer E100, and an E75. That Ferdinand is still out there on the field somewhere, unspotted. So while I'd love to go around and finish off that Jagdpanzer E100, I don't want to get shot in the side by the Ferdinand. However, Looking at the scoreboard, the time for caution is long past. There's only 4 enemy tanks left, so I'm going to need to get some more damage done. There's a useful hit on the T-57 Heavy, and Quickie Baby, his leopard prototype, comes up, finishes him off. 2 of them left, we know where one of them is, and that Ferdinand is out on the field. They don't need my help. No, there they go, they've killed him. So, and I've got a pretty good idea where that Ferdinand is, just purely judging by the shot that he fired that killed that E-100. In order to hit that E-100, there's only really one place he could be, and that's over there. There he is. And, you know, fair play to this Ferdinand driver, he went down fighting. He manages to nail a Jag Tiger before he gets rushed by a Batchat, and Ferdinands do not survive being rushed by Batchats. So 3,000 damage done, tier 9 tank, tier 10 game. I'll settle for that. Speaking of tier 9 tanks and tier 10 games, this time I'm in the M46 Patton, American tier 9 medium tank, and this is a fantastic machine, but it's no E75. It's quick, while not being as fast as the Russian tier 9 medium tanks, or even the Chinese tier 9 medium tanks. But the mobility is very, very good. The maneuverability, the terrain resistance on the suspension is second to none. It's a very, very mobile machine, and it's got a very punchy, if somewhat inaccurate, gun. And it's one of those machines that works best if you can take advantage of the mobility. Give this thing the freedom to roam around and match it up with other fast medium tanks. Work together in a wolf pack to overwhelm and just dominate the opposition. And that's what we're doing here, platooned up with Quickie Baby and Ike. Ike also in his M46, Quickie Baby in his T-54E1. Unsurprisingly, making short work of that AMX. And that AMX 5120 on the ridgeline up there, well, just had a very, very bad day. Trying to take advantage of the AMX 1390, spotting all of us down here, but giving his position away and just getting utterly ripped apart by our T-57 Heavy, amongst others. And that's good news, because now we can put this mobility to use again. There's one less tank up on that ridgeline, which is where we want to be to come around the flank of the enemy team. Now the clock is against us here. There's an E75 on our flank there that we really do need to kill before we can make our move, and we do that. And now that the flank is secure, we've got to get up there, because there he is, T-110E4 that was moving up into position. So I'm going to go wide and hook around this guy now that the threat to our right flank is secure. And these guys are going to bait him, keep him busy as he backs off, and I'll try to surprise him from behind. Time for a bit of surprise butt sex. Surprise, it's me! And there's nothing particularly special about this. You know, it's just common sense. Mediums and lights working together to take down isolated, bigger opponents. And the team is now capping. And so what we need to do now is put ourselves into a position where we can intercept anybody on the enemy team who's coming back to try to reset that cap. And of course, if we get the opportunity, kill some scumbags. No, I said kill some scumbags. Come on, Jingles. There you go. Any game where you get a scumbag kill is a good game, and that game is now over because we have capped. And despite a disappointing bounce on that IS-4, I can still get some sneaky last second damage in on that Batchat to push it up to 2,000 damage done in a tier 9 medium in a tier 10 match, which is nice. Tier 7 Comet platoon, British Tier 7 medium tank. Again, it's me, Ike, and Quickie Baby. And this is one of our little guilty pleasures. This is our pimp tank, right? No expenses spared on this machine. It's gold consumable time and it's gold ammo time. Although you don't really need to be using gold ammo in a Comet in a Tier 7 game. Like most of the Tier 7 mediums, the Comet has underwhelming penetration unless you're firing premium ammunition. And so you'll find a lot of Comet drivers will stock some premium APCR ammo. Ramming speed, there we go. Let's have this guy. You don't need to be using premium ammo on an E25. But most Comet drivers, and most Tier 7 medium tank drivers, with the exception of tanks like the T20, which has a really good 90mm gun, you're going to see Tier 7 medium drivers packing some premium ammunition for those Tier 9 games that they get into, but it's very, very expensive because the gun doesn't do much damage. It's one of those guns with a very high rate of fire, but very little alpha damage. And firing premium ammo on machines like this, the cost adds up very, very quickly. You know, sometimes you just wonder. That VK, I mean, he obviously knew there were 3 Comets here. He must have, because the E25 just got blitzed by the 3 of us. So he must have known we were here, but he came around the corner and tried to face off against all 3 of us anyway. And you just wonder what people are thinking, or even if they are thinking. But with the threat to the flank now secure, this ridgeline is where Comets excel. Because unlike the Cromwell, previous at Tier 6 to the Comet has got a really, really good gun mantlet. And it's got some good gun depression. And it's a more low-profile tank, so working a ridgeline like this is the kind of situation where people don't expect it to, but the Comet really does excel. Because the only thing we lack here is targets to shoot at. We know there's a whole bunch of enemy tanks up on that ridge, but nobody's spotting them. And, oh, there we go. There's another one. But this guy learns his lesson. And instead of just charging around at us, he's digging in on that corner. Now, I want to go around there and root him out, but you can see on the map, they keep popping in and out of view. A whole bunch of enemy tanks up on the ridge. And Ike and Quickie Baby are working them over as soon as they pop up. Like that. And as soon as we thin their numbers down, I'm going to go around and get that guy in the medium over on the right flank. It would be suicide to try and do it now because there's still a whole bunch of enemy tanks on that ridge. But as soon as their numbers have been thinned down a bit, I'm going to go for it. And we've still got a Dickermax and a Stug up on the ridge, and there's a Panzer 4S. Oh, there we go, 3002. Looks like he's trying to make a move. We force him to back off again. But, you know, I think the time for caution, once again, is over. You just need to nail this Panzer 4S. Well, then I can go after the 3002. It's a bit risky because there's still a Dickermax and a Stug on that ridgeline. But they haven't fired at me. So I'm going to go for it. And there he is. No, they must have seen me now. But if I can get around this corner... There they go. They're shooting at me now. Ineffective fire. Take a hit. And I'm bouncing shots from the 3002. And he's dead. And of course, the second I went around the corner and the Stug and the Dickermax, there they are, started shooting at me, it gave their positions away. And the rest of the team were able to put a harassing fire down on them. And so it was a case of too little too late, and I'm in cover again. And artillery's having a go. He's out there somewhere. I can still be killed by artillery here. But he needs to die, so I go on a run to flush this guy out. Quickie Baby parks himself on the ridge, pre-aiming. We know where he's going to be. He's going to be on that hill over there. I make myself a harder target to hit. I'm trying to flush him out. There he is. And Quickie Baby nails him instantly. So, not quite a crucial contribution. Only the 11 kills between the three of us. But I'll settle for that. Hope you enjoyed the video, folks. As always, take care on that battlefield, and I'll catch you next time.